Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the Respawn podcast, baby. Let's go. Cue the clapping, please. I love it, man. Jeez. Welcome back to episode 3. Llew, please say how's it to all the peeps.
How's it, peeps?
Nice. I like the hype. But listen, man, we're on episode 3 and we were so excited about episode 2. We said, hey, are we a big deal now because we did 2 episodes? But now we are on 3 episodes, baby. Two.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, boy. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty excited.
Yeah, I think it's I think we're slowly settling into it. I don't know. We'll
Well, we
see.
had 20 minutes of starting anxiety, so I don't know. The settling can be debatable or debated.
Y-
But actually, I was asking a couple of people that we're doing the watch party with for the first episode, and I was like, guys, when can I consider myself to be famous? When can I consider myself to say that the Respawn podcast has made it?
What was your answer?
There's differing views, man. Some people are saying after 200 likes, others are saying after 200 views. Then we get the guys with the highest standards. They're like, nah, it has to be 1,000. I'm like, 1,000 views or 1,000 likes? They're like, either one, just
Oh,
1,000.
okay, 1,000. 4
Okay,
digits.
well, we're on our way to 1,000. So, yeah.
I like it. Well, look, I mean, we at 100 views now for episode 1, so that's great. You know, episode 2 is launching later this week. Obviously at the time of this recording, so it's really exciting, and I think the part that warmed my heart the most is
Tell me.
all the comments, the feedback, the absolute hype. We just want to say thank you to every single person who watched, subscribed, liked, and shared. Man, it gave us a lot of hope. I think
Yeah.
people are excited about what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, 100%. From my side, thank you to everyone that watched the first episode. Like Bash said, we're on just over 100 views now. So I think it's a milestone. It's a place to start. It's freaking awesome. The social media platforms are doing well. The snippets and the shorts, they're not doing too bad. I see the one about the Rome question that's coming up in episode 2 at the time of recording did pretty well. So hopefully that captured some people's attention. So yeah, I'm very excited, and I'm excited for episode 3, man. I believe it's going
Jeez.
to be just as juicy if episode 2 is anything else to go off of. But what's been happening, man? What's been
Yeah,
going on
dude.
since episode 2, bro?
Yeah, it's been a bit crazy. I was explaining to, I think, was it yesterday? Yeah. I was explaining to everyone, I feel like, you're just getting along with your things and then you blinking and it's a week later. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, where's the time? I was telling myself, before I sleep every night, I should just like take
Yeah.
my phone and then just like record a minute vlog to say, okay, Bash, this is what happened today. This is what you did today. These are the people you spoke to. So that when I get to the end of the year, I just want to like make a montage and then watch it back because sometimes, dude, I'm just like, what?
That's hilarious. I'd subscribe to that, man. I'd love to get an insight into your daily day-to-day operations. But to be honest, I'm feeling the same. Can I tell you how it's broken down in my mind?
Yeah, go for it.
So it's Sunday. And when I look again, it's Wednesday. And when I look again, it's Friday, and then it's Sunday again, man. It's like those are the 3 checkpoints in my week. But everything in between, like even now, like, hey man, what's been happening in your week? What's been going on? What have you done? Who have you seen? Yeah. And it's like, I can tell you if it was Wednesday what I did. I can
Yeah,
tell you what I
yeah.
did on Friday, and I remember Sundays pretty well. Everything else is a blur, man. And then we just had the public holiday, so the whole calendar mentally is just like one day confused.
Yeah, 100%. It's weird. It's weird because now we go into like shorter weeks. Everyone's more intensified,
Yeah.
But the weird thing for me is like I'm checking. I'm like, wait, am I working enough? Then I go back and I check. Oh wait, I have done so much work. This is fantastic. Okay, let's just keep going.
It's a good problem to have, bro.
No, it is, but I don't know where the gap's gone. But anyway, listen, viewers, if you can give some advice as to where this gap of time is taking place for us, please let us know in the comments. We'd appreciate that. But other than that, Llew, at the time of this recording, I am
Yeah.
very, very upset that winter's back. Like, I don't get it, bro. What the heck? I get no ways. I'm done. Why's your face like that?
Bro, it's lame. Like, that's lame. You
What?
just need to get over this obsession and this wanting for summer, man.
No,
I mean,
really.
I don't understand why anyone would literally choose. And this is actually the problem with the entire friend group. FYI, for the audience, the entire friend group has this problem. They'd rather be choosing to be sweaty and lethargic in summer sweltering heat and cozy and comfortable on a nice cold afternoon. It's weird.
No, dude, you've got it completely wrong. No one is sweaty and lethargic in summer, right?
Everyone is.
Not even what? Not even close. Listen, dude. In summer, I am at my peak performance. That
Nah.
is it, bro. In winter, I'm like a freaking reptile. I don't want to move, bro.
Okay,
I
okay,
don't
okay.
I
Wait,
don't want
wait,
to get
wait,
out
wait,
of
wait.
bed.
Hold up,
I
hold
don't
up,
want
hold
to
up.
think. It's even a stress to make coffee in winter, bro.
Nah, but it's an absolute pleasure. There's reward at the end of the suffering, Bosh.
Which is
Mhm.
what?
Warmth, comfort, delicious caffeine. Ah, you see, now we're getting somewhere. And to your point, right? The weeks have been disappearing. That don't happen in winter, my man. Because in winter, everything's cool, calm, and collected. Excuse
No,
the
it's
pun.
because you're suffering. When you're suffering, time goes slower. That is my viewpoint. I'm holding to it. That is it. That is it.
You hold on to it. You hold on to it. We'll make a poll about this because I disagree. I will disagree until the day I die. It is what it is.
Okay, right. Well,
Yeah.
let's agree to disagree. Okay, I'll tell you what. There's two other seasons. Shall we just be neutral and choose one of each of the other ones? Which one?
Well, autumn isn't that enjoyable, so we can go with spring
Okay,
because it's more
spring.
bearable.
We'll
Spring's a happy medium.
100%. We'll bounce it on spring. You see what I did there? That was hilarious, right? We'll bounce it. We'll bounce it on spring. Do you get it? I said it timelessly because I wanted you to
Why
spit
are
your
you doing
water
this? I
out.
got that freaking water in my mouth, man.
That was my plan. That was my plan.
You're a fool. You're a fool, man.
It is. You know, I'm a barrel of monkeys.
Speaking
What
of
can I say?
updates, right?
Mm.
So I came across like the coolest acronym on planet Earth today. I need to share it with you
Okay, let's hear it.
because it kind of describes you. It kind of describes me. It completely describes the podcast. So the acronym is WYSIWYG. Have you heard of that? I'll literally give you money if you can tell me what it means.
Wussy.
WYSIWYG.
Okay, but you gotta spell it for me.
Nah, 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 nah. That's too easy.
Okay, one more time. Say it one more time.
WYSIWYG.
Wussy wig.
So
W.
I can put it in context for you.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say you go, let's say, like, I don't know, think of your favorite performer, right? And you know what to expect when you see them. You're like, yeah, we're going to his concert. It's WYSIWYG. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. It's Wussy wig. Okay, so we're going to see my performer. It's Wussy wig. It's whatever is super important with important gravity. That's what I want to go.
Oh, damn, that's funny.
I
Nah,
tried.
you
Okay,
won.
give it
You
to me.
tried,
Just give
you
it to
tried.
me. Just give it to me.
Are you ready?
I'm gonna try to be. If I fall off my chair, that will cut it out.
Can we edit like a dramatic effect into this?
Okay, remind me to do it in post.
Yeah. What you see is what you get, brother. How cool is that, man? It's WYSIWYG. Huh?
Oh, Wussy wig. WY. Okay.
Yeah, what you see
What
is
you
what
see
you
is what you
get.
get. That's a vibe. That's a vibe. I'll take that. I'll take
Dude,
that.
it's I won't even go into the story of how I came across it, but yes, it was hilarious, man. It was good comedy. And yeah, everything's now WYSIWYG for me. If anyone's
That's a
got a
real
problem with what they receive from Llew from the respawn, WYSIWYG.
Wussy wig. That is it.
WYSIWYG.
So
Yeah,
so when we post this episode and all the reels, we're gonna say hashtag Wussy wig.
it's a great idea. That is a great idea. That gives me captions for a full week.
Yeah, I like it. I think we're gonna do that. I think
WYSIWYG 1, WYSIWYG 2,
what you see is what you get, baby.
That's it, brother.
Yeah, but I think part of the feedback that I really also enjoyed is that everyone loved how simple we kept things and how real it was. You know,
Yeah.
which is what we mentioned in episode 1. You know, we said we were going to do that, and we said that you know, we're not going to overcomplicate things. We're going to keep it practical. We'll kick off this episode just with what we discussed towards the end of episode 2. You know, I'm still waiting for obviously we're still waiting for all the feedback from episode 2. We had
Yeah.
a great time on episode 2. Jeez.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself. It was good
Yeah.
listening to you, bro.
What do you mean? Did I do most of the talking? Okay, no. Well, but we'll check.
Episode 2, we will dub that Bash's episode. It is what it is.
Okay, well, tonight we're definitely gonna change that up a bit more. That's for sure. because I think what everyone's going to appreciate from episode 2, or what they have appreciated about episode 2, is the practicality of it, you know.
Yeah,
And like we always said, I say like we always said, but it's really only episode 3. But still, we've always said it, you know. It hasn't
we've
been
always
years and
said
years.
it.
Yeah. We want to keep it practical. We want to keep it real. You know, if it's not real, it's not helpful. If it's not
100%.
practical, it's not helpful. You know.
Yeah,
And we've touched on a few things in the first 2 episodes, where we have drawn contrasts between all the kind of self-help and Christian views, and you know, that kind of stuff that's out there right now, you know. I
yeah,
think we have voiced our opposition towards most of it,
yeah,
because I think partly because we've tried it, you know. And I think what we're
yeah.
going to get into tonight, people will see that we've actually tried these kind of recipes and self-helps and shortcuts and hacks, and you know, all these things. And we've tried the mythical or mystical beliefs about God, the impractical ones, you know,
Mhm.
and those haven't worked either. But you know what? Hopefully, what we can share tonight will at least help people to realize that, you know, we have a practical approach to this, and it really doesn't matter where you are in life, whether you know, you're a teenager starting off, or you're in your 60s, you know, 70s, 80s, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I think they're gonna see that, you know, maybe if we take a step back and we slow down a bit, we're gonna have a much more pleasant journey.
Yeah, 100%. That makes
Mm,
sense. And a large part of what we were talking about in episode 2 was the idea of the process and what the experience of that process is. And already back then, when we were busy recording episode 2, it popped into my mind that it's so crucial that we remind the audience that it is so imperative that when you're finding yourself in the process of any sort, whether it's a massive decision, a small decision, whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. It is so imperative just to slow down and remind yourself of where you're at. Whether you're just reminding yourself that you are indeed in a process, and whether it's the first time or the second time or the 100th time that you've done that, it's crucial that you just slow it down and just almost take stock, right? If I can use that,
yeah.
to see where you're at, what's happening, and then just to gauge,
Mm,
gauge what's happening. Like, hey, am I doing fine? Yeah. Am I not doing so fine? Could I tweak a bit more focus in this area? Maybe overshooting a bit for this part of the process, that experience, because, and Bashme, you made an excellent point where you're saying that, everyone believes that they're destined for greatness.
mm,
And yeah, I would say it's a good ideal to hold on to, but it's also pretty useless to your point. You know, because let's just wait, let's just break this down, right? So from the time that you're born, right, your parents are always telling you, God willing, that hey, you're gonna be a success one day. Hey,
mm,
you're gonna
mm,
be great one day. You,
mm,
my boy, you can do whatever you want. You
mm.
you just go for it. Okay, where do I start?
Yeah.
And it seems great then. Like, hey, I'm gonna be an astronaut when I'm 6 years old. But then by the time you're 18, man, you're just like, whew, I just got through my trick. I just got through my last year of high school, and I literally don't know where to go from here.
Yeah.
You
100%.
know, so
Yeah.
it's like that feeling of greatness disappears. On the plus side, sometimes it stays there with the person, and they still hold on to it, and they've already done a few things to prove it to themselves. They've won talent shows, they've done this, they've done that, they've become really good at a sports, they can talk in front of people, they've got a lot of friends, whatever the case is.
Mm,
But what is the destined for greatness? What is the end goal there?
yeah.
And what are they even seeing that as? Because is greatness being famous? Is it just helping themselves? Is it
Mm,
setting something up for the family?
mm.
So, like, Bash, honestly, my question to you is that the sense of greatness, where does it come from and who confirms it or what confirms it? Because every single human being seems to have it.
Yeah. 100%. Look, I agree with you. Jeez, like it. I think, and you know what's interesting though, right? To your point, that part about when you're so young,
Yeah.
and you know, it's so funny is that everyone gives you your dreams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was convinced I was on a trajectory to be a pilot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like that was it.
That's freaking cool.
Yeah, like I'm like, I'm gonna be a pilot, you know, and obviously, somewhere along the line, I don't know, either my parents or family members or whatever it was, this thing was made, you know, aware to me. It was planted.
Yeah.
Inception. No, I'm kidding. It was, yeah, it was planted, you know, and man, I stuck with that. I'm gonna be a pilot. I'm gonna be a pilot, and pilots are so cool, dude. You know, as an adult, how violently airsick I get, dude.
That's crazy. This is the first time I'm hearing about this,
Dude,
man.
motion sickness in me. I don't know what happened, brother. Let me tell you. Even like if we go to a theme park, like Gold Reef City,
Yeah.
I can do all the rides. Like I'll do all of them except the ones that spin.
Oh, wow.
Dude, spinny rides, I am out, bro. And also
That's terrible.
the
Those
thing
are like the
that's
most fun.
dude, the thing that's out with me is my lunch. Let me tell you, bro, it's bad news. My apologies to the viewers for that graphic imagery. Okay,
Well, it's
but
just crazy that you can go like 200 kilometers in a car, but not be affected. But then on a spinning ride, you're affected.
yeah, I don't know, dude. Because listen, I've been around Kyalami racetrack in a
Yeah.
BMW competition edition, right? And
Ooh, what a
I
pleasure.
was hitting over 200 k's on that racetrack, like full cornering, everything. And man, I was a for away. I was loving it.
Yeah.
But then for the next lap, when I had to be the passenger, I'm like, stop this, stop,
Yeah.
dude. I walked back to the pits. It was that bad,
Yeah.
dude. It was like
Oh,
really bad.
jeez.
So don't ask me how that works, okay? But I
That's
think
fine.
it's just because you're in control as the
Wait,
driver.
wait,
That's
wait,
pretty
wait.
much it.
WYSIWYG.
Wizzy wig. That is it. I like Wizzy wig. Wizzy wig is cool.
Yeah.
But that destined for greatness thing is it's such a crazy thing because for me it set me up for so much disappointment.
Brother, preach. That's one point I wish I couldn't relate on,
Yeah,
but here we are.
you know what I'm saying? It's like as you growing up and you get a clearer view of what life is like and what it's about.
Yeah,
You just get really disappointed. I
it's
mean, Luke,
true.
let's talk about. I mean, when did you matriculate? Recently, right? It was 2, 3 years ago, I think. No, a bit longer, but five or
Bruh,
six,
bruh,
five or
bruh.
6 years ago. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
2017,
Okay,
2017, you do
6
the
years ago.
math.
Okay, 6 years ago, right? Now, do you remember grade 11 and grade 12?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Right. Now, as
Yeah.
much as now, I know you were always an academic guy, I get that.
Mhm.
But as much as there was a lot of hard work and everything, was there not like this crazy gusto in you? Like, man, I'm gonna take on life. Like the limits are off. I'm just gonna fly. You know?
Yeah, I would say that, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then to be honest with you, it comes to an end pretty quickly. Well, at least for me it did. Because then like I matriculated and I start working. And even before then I was starting to see the signs. It felt like I was in the Matrix in a sense. Because I was like, literally nothing is what I thought it would be,
That's the
unfortunately,
thing. Yeah.
and it's not that they were bad, like, don't get me wrong. It's not that it was bad or anything, it's just that the picture I had in my mind created from a whole bunch of things.
Mm.
Dude, the
Mm.
expectations were way, 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 way
Dude.
too high. So, yeah, a lot of disappointment, but the gusto was there,
Yeah. But
definitely.
but did we not create the because I mean I did the exact same thing, dude.
Yeah,
Like man, my friends and I at the time, we even did this thing where they put it was this game, right?
mm,
And you put all these kind of descriptions in a hat.
okay,
And the hat would go around and then you put it out and then okay, we read this. Okay, who's going to be first to, whatever, you know?
yeah,
And then the group would vote for that friend.
yeah,
Whoever they think it is, kind of
yeah.
thing. I liked what I was voted for. I was like, geez, that's pretty cool. I won't disclose that, but it's fine.
Now just disclose it now that you're mentioning it, you clearly want to. Come on, come, spill the beans.
Okay. If you had to say, like, this is back in school, what would you think it is?
Nah, nah, nah. I'm not gonna even entertain this. You need to tell me.
Just guess. Guess. What would you think it is?
I've heard stories of what you were like in school, so I'm not
I
even entertaining this.
wasn't that bad, bro.
Disclaimer, disclaimer. The bash you're getting now is not the bash you would have gotten then.
Yeah, just praise the
Putting
Lord.
it out there.
That's for sure. The bash you would have got then would have been bad. Well, anyway, I
You would have had like
was
the Andrew Tate on you if you were still back.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, maybe worse.
Oh Lord.
But I was voted first to be a millionaire.
Ah, well, I can see why they did that. I think you'd still get that vote if I'm honest with you.
Well, praise the Lord. Well,
Yeah,
we still on our way. We're not there yet. We're so far from that, but it's okay.
as long as we've left the station, we're
That's
good.
the thing. As long as we're moving somehow. But the point is, right, is that when you have that feeling, that
Mm,
gusto that we're talking about, you form a worldview from it.
yeah,
You can't explain it, but there's just such a fire. It's like, man, I can conquer the world.
yeah.
But what happens is we go out there and then we're met with other evidence.
Mm,
And then we realize it's like,
Wait
Oh,
a minute.
oh, this is a
Wait a minute.
yeah, exactly. And then that's when that matrix move comes in,
Yeah,
and the problem is that that disappointment is so hectic
yeah.
that a lot of people never really recover from it.
Maybe without realizing it, yeah. That
Yeah.
is that's actually very true. And you can actually see that from the rat race that they fall into.
So the
You
rat
know?
race is the test because how quickly, right, when people see this kind of system in front of them or whatever it is, that
Yeah.
they realize, okay, well that's gone. And they just go with, okay, I
Mm,
can slot in there, that's cool, kind of
yeah,
thing. And I think what we need to discuss a bit is everyone has that feeling at some point in their life. Some people meet disappointment very early.
yeah,
Oftentimes it's met with, sorry, my son, my daughter, we don't have money to send you to university.
yeah,
Okay, that's like main disappointment number one. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, that's the model given to us. That's how we can only be successful. Whatever it is.
yeah. It's true.
But when we look at it, we all believe that we have that gusto. You know, but unfortunately, that gusto only lasts long enough, or only lasts as long as we have an environment to cultivate it.
Mm,
You with me? The minute we're met with limitations that go against that,
yeah,
immediately we feel disappointed.
yeah.
It's like, oh man, I just wish I could have done that, and
Mm,
she's unfortunately, whatever it is. So when we look at it, we have this sense, but what reasoning do we have to hold on to it, even when we don't have an environment that can facilitate it?
yeah. Well, it's a pertinent question. Have you got the answer for us?
Well, I don't have the answer. I'll tell you the answer I found. It's not my answer, right?
All right, well, let's hear it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is this is that, we need a reason, okay,
Yeah.
that is beyond the limitations of our environment.
Okay.
You with me? Now,
All
a lot
right.
of people, hold to the thing, and sometimes disappointment's really hectic, and sometimes, life is like these circumstances, environments, everything gets hectic, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just can't avoid that. It's just how it is. And people are just like, look, I know I'm going through, it's fine. But it's actually like a last ditch hope.
Yeah.
It's like, listen,
Yeah.
I'll think about something material when this passes. I'm so, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But the truth is that if we had a a justification, a reason, if we had a absolute qualifier
Yeah.
as to why we will walk in this, you know, it would materially change our approach to that disappointment. It would materially change, how we see the environments changing or how we respond to them, how we start thinking about ourselves.
Yeah.
You with me? Because
Mhm.
that disappointment of, I'm gonna be this one day, and then that doesn't happen. And you've heard stories about people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and they say, when I was your age, man, I was
Ooh,
on track. I was
yeah.
on track. I was going to. And I've always been someone who loves stories like that. So like ever since
Yeah.
I was very young, I would always sit around the older people and find out, okay, tell me your stories of life. Tell me what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like for example, my dad, right? He actually told me, I asked him, I'm like, dad, because he's in production, so he runs factories and
Yeah.
manages procurement, all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, Dad, is this what you wanted to do? And he told me, he's like, no, I actually wanted to be a boilermaker.
Okay.
And I was like, what? That is really cool, kind of
Mm.
thing. But he was like kind of telling me the stories, and it's those kind of things. It's that he had it in his heart to do it,
Yeah.
but he was met with a disappointment. You,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Is like either whether it was money, whether it was studying limitations, whatever it was.
Mm.
And you hear these stories that, oh, when I was your age, I was going to, and as a young person, I really, really took those lessons, and I thought to myself, if I get to that point in life
Mm.
and I look back and I think of, ish, it might affect me really hectically.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like because they always say it with this deep exhale, like like you
Well,
know.
it's sort of what I mentioned in episode 1, those the glory days.
Yeah. 100%, 100%. And people, it's not that they're sad about their life or whatever, but it's just they never really recovered from that disappointment. It
True.
never stopped them in life. They still went on and they did what they wanted to do. They had families and whatever, everything was done.
But
Um,
one could argue that the gusto becomes less in a sense.
yeah. That's a good point.
Mm.
That's a good point. Is that gusto just kind of gets a bit dulled.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And when you look at it, when I went through the same thing because I had a plan,
Okay.
okay? And I had a plan, I was gonna take this trajectory and this was gonna be it. And man, when that plan fell apart, dude, when that plan fell apart, I wasn't ready for the crashing down that was gonna take place, in my own heart.
Yeah, yeah,
Because you
yeah.
see, what I did is that I based my entire success as a person on me achieving this thing.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because and obviously it was built up for whatever reason.
Yeah, yeah.
The environment I grew up in, experiences, speaking to people, what I thought success looked like, all this kind of stuff. And dude, let me tell you, when that thing came crashing down, oh man, but it was rough. I'm telling you,
Mm.
I had to delude myself for many days, many days to be like, you're gonna get through this. You're gonna, you
Well,
know,
luckily you stopped at days, bro. I mean, you get people that are going on, the delusion goes on for years.
yeah, that's
So thank
true.
God you stopped at days.
Y-
And just for some reference for the audience, how long ago was this, Bash?
Oh, this is probably where we now, and yeah, it's probably about 13 years ago, 14 years ago, somewhere there.
Relatively speaking, you're quite young when that happened then.
Yeah, I'm talking 21, 22. When
Yeah,
when these things kind of take place, and I mean, at that point in life, you have got stars in your eyes. I
yeah,
mean, Lou, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, and I'll be honest with you, I believe that's by design because you need that kind of gusto to take on life. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah.
you need that, but the problem is that the gusto is not the anchor.
Mm,
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
The gusto comes from a belief.
yeah,
It comes from a belief of potential, opportunity, whatever it is.
yeah.
And what happens is that when you get evidence to the contrary, then the belief changes, the gusto goes.
So we're saying that the belief that confirms in a lot of people that they should be great one day is just that temporary gusto that they've got until it's gone.
Yeah, until they get other evidence.
Yeah,
So you're in school and wow, your parents are telling you, your teachers, the favorite teacher, if you're the superstar pupil, is like, man, you got so much potential. You're gonna make it big in life.
yeah.
And you don't know why or how. You just know, yes, ma'am. Yes,
I
sir.
agree, damn it. I agree.
That is it. I'm gonna do it. And you give it your all, and rightfully so. You should.
Yeah,
You should have that gusto and that hope. To give it your all, 100%.
yeah.
And and when the evidence changed for me, I was like, what do I have now?
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I was
yeah,
like, more importantly, now there is obstacles in my way,
mm,
but I've got no evidence that I'm gonna get there. I've
yeah,
got no evidence that I've got support to get there.
yeah,
And I think with a lot of young people today, a lot of them are left to figure things out. You know what I'm saying? By
yeah,
by, by like themselves.
yeah. I would say so. Um, sure. There's a couple of reasons for that, I would say as well. In today's day and age, I mean, we've got a generation that's borderline growing up without decent parents. Number one, so one hell of a lot of the youth out there, the younger generation, they sort of winging it, man. They're looking to celebrities, they're looking to the finished products
Mm,
to try and
mm,
guide
mm.
them, which is
Yeah.
all great and stuff because it gives you that sense. It recharges the gusto quite a bit.
Mm.
But when the rubber meets the road, gusto doesn't get you through that the sort of bumps and obstacles, like you're saying,
Yeah. 100%.
right?
100%.
And when it comes to the younger generation, it's almost a thing of, well, they just haven't really experienced much. Like you're saying, when you crash and burned in this example that you were just explaining to us, you were 21, 22. I went through something similar when I was out of school, and it's when we're very young. It's when there's like hardly any mileage on the clock.
Mm.
So it's almost a thing of, well, we didn't know any better, but at the same time, the people that came before us, that they know any better either.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
so as much as like you're saying, you listen to the stories that you hear from, something I've always struggled with. So actually, I take my hats off to you for listening to the stories from like the older generations,
Yeah.
because, and maybe you can touch on why this is something that I struggle with, in the sense that a lot of me is only open to listening to people who are in a position that I want to be in.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge.
Right.
Yeah, that's
So,
huge.
like, as soon as, like, I'm seated or sit it down or
Huh?
oh my gosh, my English. As soon as I've, like, sat down with a person that in my mind, I'm like, "Something's not right, Chaz. This is definitely not where I wanna be," then I'm already closed off,
Mm.
right? And you're saying that, a lot of that gusto is coming from where our beliefs are and all of that. So, uh, I don't wanna make this sound too confusing, but it's almost like the gusto knows what's gonna help it and what isn't.
Mm.
Right? So then in my personal journey, when I came to know Jesus and I got saved, that's when my gusto was like lit on fire. And I'm like,
Aha.
ching, all right,
Exactly.
this is cool. This is someone that ain't gonna let me down.
Mm.
This is
Mm.
someone who has qualified me. This is someone that's in a position that I can look to and not doubt where it's
Yeah.
coming from, or doubt the means and the methods and the ways that got Jesus to be the person that he is, right? It was pure, it was truthful, it was clean. Like the Bible says, he's the way, he's the truth, he's the life.
Yeah.
And, reading that and then experiencing it brings it to fruition in your heart. And then you experience it on the day to day. And you're like, wow, that's cool.
Mm.
I've got a
100%.
gusto that's not connected to me, because previously it was. And I love what you said about the teachers, right? The teachers that put their comments down.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget it. And it's something that actually still helps me on a day to day basis sometimes, is that it was either in grade 11 or matric. And my art teacher put down, it was matric, it was my testimonial. You get the
Oh, yes, yes,
testimonial
yes,
from
yeah,
the
yeah,
school
yeah.
and stuff. And my art teacher wrote it for me. And she had like such beautiful words. She was like, Lou's a man of character. He'll exceed at whatever he puts his mind to, which is like great words, right? Because in my mind, it was also like, cool. She sees that I'm not just capable at art. She's saying whatever I put my mind to.
Yeah, for sure.
Bro, let me tell you, I leave school, try start working, earning some money. I'm like, I'm not capable of anything no more.
Like, I can't put my mind to anything right now. What is going
Yeah.
on? Where's my mind?
And I was like, I was capable in that environment, not so much in the next one.
Yeah.
And well, at least that's how it seemed, because a bit of growing up and learning and whatnot had to take place. But the point I'm trying to make is that my gusto was connected to that, and it crashed and burned so damn fast.
Yeah. Completely.
Until, like I
Completely.
mentioned, until I came to the person of Jesus, and then the gusto. The gusto even changes, to be honest.
Mm.
It moves from because gusto almost sounds like it's temporary,
Yeah,
like it's a short burst.
call it a drive, a motivation,
Drive, that's a
yeah.
good one. It's a
Yeah, yeah.
drive.
Yeah.
Where, coming to something that's more pure and more, I would say, one hell of a lot more solid to anchor yourself to,
Mm.
it doesn't become a drive. It literally becomes a lifestyle. It becomes a way of doing things.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
very, very cool to have experienced that difference. And I think what we want here at the Respawn podcast is for others to potentially consider experiencing that too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Lou, you hit it on the head, because the same thing for me now is when that whole thing happened,
Yeah.
it was discovering this person who claims to be the way, the truth, and the life, you know? And that person is Jesus.
Yeah.
So let's break down what you explained, because you said you went to work, you were out in the big bad world, okay, the
Yeah.
proverbial world, and still, like you were saying, low miles on the clock.
Yeah.
You're still trying to figure out, geez, what is life? What is life about? The only thing
Yeah.
that you know for sure is what you enjoy and what you don't. In terms,
Not
in,
not even.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
even.
yeah, not even. You're still discovering, but you're going along, and then, like you were saying, is that when you met him and when you chose him,
Yeah.
you got a reignited gusto. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You got now a different motivation to have that gusto.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So before the motivation was, okay, I'm gonna achieve this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna, right?
Mm.
And then I will be who I want to be.
Shoo. Yeah.
But now when we
That's it.
come to Jesus, he's telling us this is who you are.
That's it. It's so beautiful.
You with
And
me?
it's almost like a, instead of, Instead of getting a run up to make a jump, it's like you're already on the launching pad.
Yeah, completely.
It's actually,
Completely.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing,
Yeah,
and that's
for sure.
really what it comes down to.
So when we look at it, right, this is the main thing that changes. Is now, and I remember I was explaining how that our environment gives us evidence that, listen, you ain't gonna get no gusto here, bro.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah,
gonna reach that dream. You're not gonna, all that kind of stuff. And we see it daily. We see it daily. I mean, you ask business owners, employees, consumers, whoever is in the functioning world, right?
yeah.
You ask them, and they will tell you, "Oh, flip, interest rates are going up. Okay, we got to pull back on the holiday. Or these interest rates have gone up. We got to sell the house. We can't afford it anymore.
Mhm.
Or, oh, guys, we got to tighten up the budget. Petrol's going up. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Oh, South Africa's lost visa rights to this place. Whatever it is, right?
yeah,
All that stuff happens, and people immediately feel the restrictions, the limitations, all that stuff,
yeah,
right? This mechanic is exactly the same for someone who's in the position that we're speaking about, right?
yeah.
But here's the thing now. Being in Christ, okay? Being in Christ, you don't get your value at the end of the process.
You
You get your
begin it.
value at the start of the process.
That's it.
You know what I'm
What a
saying? And the thing is, he always has the value. He's always had the value for us from the beginning,
mm,
right? But when we choose to believe that, then we start experiencing it.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And here's the best part, right? Here's the best part about choosing Jesus and experiencing this new gusto, right?
yeah.
Is that regardless of the evidence I get from my environment, he still got away from me.
Yeah,
You with
that's
me?
the best
So
part.
so so
Yeah,
here's the thing now. The thing is that I was looking to a specific environment,
yeah,
right? For possibility to achieve my dreams, to make it happen, all that kind of stuff,
yeah.
right? I got to that environment and it was upside down. It was completely different from what I thought it was. And now I actually realize that, there's so much limitation there. I may not get to where I want to get to.
Yeah.
But Jesus comes in, right? Jesus comes in and he makes a statement. He says, listen, I have come to give you life and life abundantly. He
Yeah,
makes a statement to say that I've spoken these things to you so that your joy may be full.
that's it.
You know what I'm saying? We go on further in the New Testament and we see all these promises about being children of God. We see that we are overcomers. We're more than conquerors. That God is always for us. All these amazing, amazing scriptures.
Yeah,
And what happens is now when we're in that environment, instead of losing hope, because our hope was in the environment, my hope was in a degree.
yeah,
Coming from a bit of a poor upbringing, which
yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people can share the likeness in that. Coming from a poor upbringing, especially in this country, I my thing is that I'm not going to be poor like this.
Yeah,
I'm going to get rich. I'm going to look after my family, and that's it. And
yeah,
I had decided that this thing is the only way I'm going to get it. This degree is the only way I'm going to make it happen.
yeah.
And going through it, and when it fell apart along the way, what went with it? My hope of being rich.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And that was shattered because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna make it. So like,
Whoosh,
yeah,
whoosh.
oh my gosh. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I come to Jesus, and he says things like, "My grace is sufficient for you."
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? You start studying the character of God, and he makes statements like, "Listen, remember the Lord your God, for He is the one who has empowered you to create wealth."
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So now I'm realizing that, wait a minute, I've got a whole world of opportunity now that's different from what I made up from my circumstance.
yeah,
Now, when I look at Jesus, he's saying, no, 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 hold on. There's no dead end.
yeah,
You with me? There
yeah,
isn't a dead end like you thought that job was something and then it ended and that was over. He's
yeah,
saying, no, 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 no. Listen, he is the one who leads us into every good thing.
yeah.
James says that every good and perfect thing comes from God. So this mechanic of I sense that I'm made for greatness. I can feel it, like
Mm,
it's in me. Everyone's gonna be the next big thing. You
yeah.
know, and the truth is that's by design. We've
Mm,
been created in the likeness and the image of God. We've been destined for greatness.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But what's happened is that the programming that we've gotten, okay, has made us believe that we'll only be great if we achieve it.
Yeah.
We'll only be fulfilled if we achieve it. That it's all on us to make it happen.
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
And it that's what disillusioned us about the big bad world, you know.
Mm,
But Jesus is saying, listen, abide in me, find your identity in me, find your value, find your greatness, your whatever it is, find it in him and his
mm,
value for us, right? And what's going to happen is along the way he's going to navigate us, he's going to lead us, you know,
mm.
through whatever circumstance we may find ahead of us. It
Yeah.
won't be a limitation. He's gonna show us through, he's gonna show us around, all that kind of stuff. And by walking in step with him and placing our hope in him, over time, we get to the things.
That's it.
You
And
with
we have
me?
one hell of a lot more on our side than if we went the route that we thought we need to take, or the
Completely.
route that the world is promoting that we do
Mm,
take. And I love what you're saying there is that, Jesus steps in and he leads us. The Holy Spirit inside of us leads us, shows us the way. And what's beautiful about that is that it just takes such a massive weight off your shoulders.
that's the thing.
And that is what allows Iman, and I've experienced this, that is what allows you to then move freely,
Mm,
because that
exactly.
weight, that massive responsibility that you've taken on for goodness knows what reason, because it nowhere tells us to do that.
Mm,
But as human beings, we just take it on. And
yeah,
it's purely because we don't know who we are as his children.
that's it.
I mean, you look at just today's day and age. I mean, the kids don't wake up and decide what they're gonna do. Mom and dad have the day planned for them.
Mm,
You're gonna dress now, you're gonna brush your teeth, you're gonna have breakfast. Then we're gonna take you to school. Then X, Y, and Z is gonna happen. Mom and dad are looking after them. They're just enjoying the freaking experience, man.
of course,
And then
absolutely.
like you're saying, like the coming of age when the gusto collapses, it's because we've tried to take all of this on with our own weights. And
Exactly.
like you were saying, as was that a lot of people don't even recover from that.
Mm,
And I think it's one of the reasons is because they're still trying to take on that weight by themselves instead of surrendering to Jesus, to God who's got a vision for their life, who can show them the purpose, to put them on this journey to get to know Him and get to experience Him. And in
yeah.
doing so, they're going to be looked after. In doing so, the people around them are going to be looked after. The family's going to be looked after.
Mm,
But to your point that you're making there, and something that I've also experienced that's so beautiful about allowing Jesus to guide you, is that the process changes. So the process doesn't go away, right? When Jesus gets involved or when you allow the Holy Spirit to help you. It's
yeah.
not that you don't embark on a process anymore, but the process changes from the way it looks to the way it feels to what you experienced and to what others experience around you, right?
100%.
It's usually one hell of a lot less collateral damage to begin with, which is great.
Yeah.
But, you mentioned something of heightened emotions. And can we just talk about that?
Yeah.
When you're going through a process by yourself, the peaks and valleys, man, the
Dude.
valleys
I mean, I
versus
mean,
the consistency that you get when you allow Jesus to guide you through a process.
yeah, for sure. I mean, let's talk about that thing, where you were saying taking on the weight. I mean, that emotion in itself, it's like you understand,
Horrible.
yeah, you understand the magnitude of the task, right?
Mm.
But also you're met with this thing of, oh, flip, I can't do much. Cause why?
Well, perfect example, right? You look at someone like Elon Musk.
Yeah,
Okay, we can all admit hyper successful, right? In terms of what he's achieved, what he's done. Obviously the amount of wealth that he's accumulated, etc., etc. But then you look at the cost, where it's literally like how many work hours a week,
yeah. How
and
many
you just like,
years?
and you're like, oh hell no, that it's like, Mr. Musk, you can keep it, bro.
Yeah.
We don't need that. And it's just, I know it's a very extreme example, but to your point, you come to a point of realization where it's like, I can't actually do this. If I had to, though, this is the cost.
Mm, mm.
And that cost outweighs the benefit like a million to one.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And it's those kind of things that you're met with when that weight's on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know the target to hit, but you know your ability to hit the target. And there's
Mm,
this constant mismatch, and that's why I like what you said there, where, the process is the process, you
mm,
know. But with Jesus, he's with you. You're not on the process alone. And you've got his wisdom, you've got his grace, you've got his peace, everything that the Holy Spirit gives to us, it's right there with it. So when we talk about practical, right, we're saying that the the safeguarding factor before we get to the emotions now, right? The safeguarding factor is that we must make sure that we are accepted, successful, significant,
Mm.
valued, whole, content, content in Him
Yeah.
first before we seeking after these things.
Yeah.
Are you with me? Because it is what you're saying is that the cost to get these things, right? People have paid with blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
And the truth is that not everyone is willing, firstly, to go through that. And secondly, not everyone has that staying power to go through it.
That is true.
You understand?
Yeah.
And whether it looks like discipline or character or personality, whatever it is. But when we understand that, wait a minute, this is what Christ has given me.
Mm.
This is the wholeness He's given me, the value, the contentment, everything. What I'm doing now, I'm doing it from that place.
Yeah.
I'm not doing things to get those feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm now already established in that. So now I'm never burning out when I'm going after these things.
Mm.
You with me? That's
Yeah.
the thing
$100%.
because dude, failing like let's talk about those emotions you were saying. Those heightened emotions. On last episode you were talking about the art thing, right?
Yeah.
Right? So, heightened emotions or like negative thoughts, heightened emotions, negative thoughts. What was give me the most prevailing ones on this journey of trying to learn art, you know?
Man, all I can say is that straight off the bat
Yeah.
is that in a process like that without Jesus, right? In any process, what I've quickly discovered is that you are your own worst enemy.
Oh, easy.
So as much as I'm providing the gusto, I'm also the one that's killing it most of the time. It's a weird like catch 22, right? Because like I just think about it back into those 3 years when I was doing the art. And the first heightened emotion is that already then, as much as this is something that I want to do, I'm thinking of all the reasons that I'm already disqualified. And that's already, it sets you off on a very bad path because as much as you perhaps performing the activity correct, like you at the tennis, yeah, you might be doing the backhand perfect, but you in your mind, you're going to think it's horrible, even though it's actually okay, but you're never going to get to the place of appreciating it
Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
you are not on that process from the right standpoint, right?
Mm.
And the second most prevalent thought, not really an emotion, but prevalent thought is you constantly comparing yourself to other
Oh,
people.
dude, that's
But
huge.
yeah, there's always someone else that you're looking to them because you kind of admire them. You realize, hey, this person's doing something right. I like it. But it's not like it's not in a good light. It's almost I see what they're doing. This is what I need to do to beat them.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Or, or
never
or at least be like them.
be like them. Well,
Yeah.
well, for me, okay, this is me being brutally honest with the audience. Yeah, I never wanted to be like them. I just wanted to be better than them, and that's me being brutally honest.
Look at
And
you.
I never wanted to really do it in a way that brought them down, but I wouldn't go out of my way to bring them up.
Hmm.
And that is something. It's a
Yo,
horrible.
wait, hold. Is that healthy competition or unhealthy competition?
Oh man.
Because that's not Goku vibes. Goku's like, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna fight you at your strongest. Lou's like, no, stay down, sucker. I'm gonna beat you. Like,
Well, to be fair, I've always been more of a Vegeta fan. Which I think is congruent with what I'm saying, right?
fair.
So the way that I used to see it, and this is kind of you could call it a bit messed up in a sense, but it's like I'm going to do my absolute best to beat you.
Mm,
If you don't recognize that I'm doing that, you deserve to get beaten. However, I welcome the fight nonetheless if you decide to see what I'm doing. You
fair.
get what I'm saying?
I'm
So it's
with
like
you.
if the competition's there and it's upping the game. That's great because I see it as a benefit
Mm,
because it means I have to up my game.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
But it's like I was saying, the whole point of me saying all of this is that the thoughts are negative.
mm,
The feeling around it isn't cool.
yeah,
There's the temporary satisfaction of saying you're the best, that you're on top, that you've come this long way. And you do learn things along the way in the process. There's
mm,
always going to be nuggets that you hold on forever because there's disciplines and this and that you can pick up and copy and paste and they'll work to an extent, right?
yeah,
But the experience itself, the actual experience is not a good one.
yeah. Agreed.
It's got
Agreed.
enjoyable points here and there, but to the point of the heightened emotions, one day it's great, the next day it's stress and fear, the next
Mm,
day it's great again, and then it's like just boring and like nothing's happening at all, and then it's peaks and valleys again. So what I learned with my process, and The art process being just one of them that we're discussing is that without Jesus in that picture, it's a very unsteady process,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
completely unsteady, completely selfish, to be fair, um, and not really something that you want to talk about, nothing to actually brag about in a sense, because nothing of substance came out of it or comes
Mm.
out of it. And that's just from my experience, is that nothing of actual substance comes out of a process that's built on self.
No, for sure. Well, I mean, that's biblical.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
100%. And I've lived it and experienced it. And it, it's it's a scary thing, because you almost, well, it's a scary thing and it's a good thing, right? Let me qualify that in saying that now where I am now currently, it's a good thing in a sense that I can do the check to make sure,
Mm.
hey, but what's happening in this process? Where are we doing this from? What's happening? These are the same sort of red flags that we picked up previously. But it's a scary thing to see how easily one falls into doing a process like that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. And you know, like, just to, remind everyone that we are talking about a process, and I like what you said, that it's never pretty. If I mean, viewers will know. I mean, Louis will also know. If you ever speak to anyone in life who has built or achieved or created, or whatever,
Yeah,
anything, they will tell you the process is terrible. I don't know if a lot of people today would admit that,
yeah,
because everyone wants to look like they did it effortlessly, kind of thing. But the truth is everyone will have some ugly phase in that process where these kind
mm,
of thoughts and emotions come up.
yeah,
Like I remember, dude. The tennis club that I'm part of. We're kind of like uh, always fighting for first and second place in our district, right?
yeah,
So I decided, no, I want to join this club because I want to get serious about my tennis. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like I mentioned in the previous episode, um, and on that process, dude, it's the thoughts of how I'm putting in so many hours, but I'm not seeing results. A basic one.
mm.
I am going my all at this thing, but I'm not seeing it.
Basic but very real.
Yeah, it's so basic. Another thing is that because
It's tough.
yeah, because I'm in my own body, right? So
Yeah,
when I'm, for example, that backhand, and I play a single-handed backhand,
yeah.
so it's dubbed the hardest shot in tennis. I don't know why I chose that one, but anyway, felt natural. I think
It's
it's
it's it's it's
it's
in
an
line with
ego.
your personality,
Yeah,
bro.
that's terrible. Anyway, so now I'm watching someone else at the club hit a backhand.
Yeah,
I'm watching Roger Federer. I'm watching Stan Wawrinka. And I'm seeing all these guys, and I'm just like, wow, and I'm just like, I want to look like them. I want to do it
yeah,
like them, all this kind of stuff. And I'm throwing more hours and more time and more resources. And, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. But every time I swing that damn racket, the ball goes in the net. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And the biggest thing that for me, right, was confidence.
Okay.
The biggest thing I
Yeah, that's
struggled
a huge
with,
one.
the biggest negative uh, uh, impact I could say on that process is confident, because
Yeah.
I never had confidence until as long as I wasn't performing well. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? And
yeah,
I'm using tennis as a trivial example, but I mean, let's say
applies
okay,
to
art.
everything.
I don't know much about art, right? But I mean, let's say one day you're not mixing colors well, or you're not sketching well, or something.
Yeah.
Your confidence is absolutely shattered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely crazy. But the thing is now, it gets shattered to a point where you become so vulnerable,
Mm.
that you're even questioning your existence as a human being.
It's so extreme, but it's so true.
Yeah, but
No,
you
I
know
can't do this, I can't do anything. What's the
exactly.
point?
Why am I even alive? I don't even know. But you know what I'm saying? We're
Yeah,
making it a bit trivial and lighthearted, but I'm sure a lot of people can agree that they go through that.
yeah,
And we're talking about hobbies that, or like skills we try to get. Let's talk about work and careers,
yeah,
expertise. Let's talk about relationships. All those kind of things.
yeah.
These things that affect our confidence because we're performing badly.
Well,
Uh,
yeah,
you
I
know,
mean, like, just a small example. I mean, look at any person that's lost the business,
mm,
the sort of emotional uphill that they go through to recover from that. And majority of, well, not majority, but I mean, a small part of them, the only recovery from that is death. Unfortunately, it's
Mm,
literally
mm.
the only escape that they see in their mind from what that crushing of the confidence does to them.
Yeah,
And it's
100%.
it's a scary, scary reality. And like
Mm,
you said, we're making it lighthearted and trivial, but the mechanic's the same.
yeah.
It's the exact same in literally every aspect of life.
Mm, mm.
You know what I'm
And
saying? And it's quite scary, to be honest with you.
I mean, I mentioned relationships. You gave a good
Yeah.
business example now. But let's take relationships. All right.
Yeah.
Look, Lou, I know you are Mr. Hot Stuff. You're the stud, right? So obviously,
Yeah,
you you
yeah,
may- you you may not have had this scenario, but I mean,
yeah.
have you ever been in a scenario where you told a girl you liked her, and let's just say that wasn't necessarily reciprocated?
Ooh, more times than I'd like to admit, bro. You putting me on the spot, Joe.
I,
It's
I'm
so
so look,
embarrassing.
look. I'm sorry to expose you, but the thing is now, let's
Oh,
take
man,
it.
I'll go one step further and expose myself, right?
Oh no,
With the point of confidence.
yeah.
I didn't even get to the place of telling the damn girls I like them. I just disqualified myself already. I was
One
like,
time. So
okay.
so okay, so let's follow that process, right? So the first one, you were like, "Oh, this is so cool. I
Yeah.
really like this girl. Wow, this is cool." And then you go to it like, "Hey, yeah, I think you're really cool. I like kind of like you." And then she's like, "Ew, get away from me!" And you're like,
Oh, that's tough.
then your whole life is shattered. You are like,
You feel
"What,
this big, man.
dude?" It's like why am I even alive? You kind of feel like that. And then, you recover from that rejection and that failure and that heartbreak, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But then along the way, another girl comes along, and then you're like, this one is, I really like this one. She's awesome. Then you want to go tell her. But now, because it's the second one, you like, okay, maybe she's really different from the first one. You
Mm.
still have that kind of hope, that kind of thing.
It's a bit of delusion.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, you kind of talk yourself into it.
Yeah.
And her response is the same.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, now what's the next thing you do? It's like, flip, it's me. It's been two now. I'm the problem here. I am the drama. Kind of thing.
The drama.
So, like you said, that happens enough times. You get to the point of where you play out the scenario in your head,
Yeah.
and you self sabotage. You short circuit.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And
Whether you realize it or not, it's happening.
exactly,
Yeah.
it's going to happen because why? You now are not going to take a chance because of the negative emotions you're going to experience from an outcome not going the way you want it to go.
Yeah.
Rejection, failure, being irrelevant, hurt, whatever those things are, not being enough is probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
And like even at the tennis club, like when they would select me for the team, the one time I was actually team captain,
Yeah.
and I'm
My
like,
man.
no, guys, I can't be team captain. My serve is this and my backhand, and it's all that confidence was there, whatever. But in the midst of it,
Mm.
you got to be so aware of where those emotions are coming from, because, like you
Yeah.
say, you're your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
100%.
saying? You are
Yeah.
judging yourself to a level, right, that no one is even conscious of.
Yeah.
You with me? You are seeing yourself so critically that you can't even accept yourself the way God accepts you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so when we're talking about the process, these negative thoughts and emotions, we wanted to bring it up tonight, obviously, because we wanted people to understand that it's normal,
Yeah.
you know, and on this process, these things happen,
Yeah.
and along with the negative thoughts and emotions, I mean, you look at just basic limitations in the process.
Mm.
You know, I've told you many times, dude, that looking back now, my biggest limitation was that I didn't have the leadership I was looking for.
Yeah.
I didn't have the leadership I knew I needed. Where a mentor, a
Mm.
coach per
Just
se.
someone to guide you, man. Someone
Yeah,
to say, "Hey, maybe just rethink this or consider that," or
exactly. Just like
from
someone to
experience,
see
don't do this.
see someone to see objectively, even.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, this is like, okay, well, who do you follow? Like who's doing it right?
Mm.
What's working over there? I wrote a few down here. Do I have money to do this? You
Yeah,
know what I'm
that's a
saying?
massive one.
Yeah, I mean, um, to uh, to be in that thing where, should I even take the chance to do this?
Yeah.
Is this something that can work? There's all these blind sides there, and there's two extremes of it. I've seen people be very impulsive, you know, and
Yeah.
they They forfeit everything to chase down this thing, and man, it doesn't work out. You
Yeah,
know,
almost without even just actually practically considering what the
you know what
implications
I'm
could
saying?
be or
Yeah,
what the possibilities are.
a
They
hundred
just
percent.
jump straight into it.
And I find like you mentioned you know a lot of young people today, they are kind of left to their own devices, you know,
Yeah.
and unfortunately it's just the culture of our times, that people are taking a lot of influence from social media and you know whatever else it may be, and they deciding for themselves this is what it's going to be. But the truth is, the value in having people to help you experience people,
Yeah.
is something that is priceless in life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, Lou, if you want to say, okay, Bash, I'm going to start a spice shop, and you come to me and you say, listen, this is it. I've checked out the market. I've seen the commodities, all this stuff and everything. And
Mm.
I say to you, okay, Lou, do you like spice? You say, no, I actually just like my food nice and bland. I'm like, okay, what do you know about spice, Lou? No, I know how much it is. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
but if you don't know anything about spice, how are you going to be good at selling spice?
Yeah. Like a logical question.
You know what I'm saying? Now it seems logical, but listen, when you're in the frenzy of things of trying to get a business plan together and see an opportunity and make some
Mhm.
money and all these kind of things, you lose sight of reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've had people come to me, youngsters, man, they're 19. At 19, they're deciding, no, I want to take up a sport professionally. I want to make money from it. I'm like, but
But
19, the
but
professionals who are making money started at 4.
yeah, like the 19s are already the champions, the
Yeah,
19-year-olds
exactly. You know
on
what
a
I'm saying?
that scale. Yeah.
Yeah, so you dig a little deeper and then you realize, okay, they're actually just desperate to find some sort of success.
Yeah.
You with me? But now here's the thing. Let's use this example. If no one's there to help someone like that along, right? They're gonna end up in ruin.
Yeah.
It's more disappointment, it's more destruction, It's all
Yeah.
those kind of things. And that's why we created this platform. Is that we want to let people know that these things that you are experiencing are normal,
Yeah.
and the weaknesses, the struggles, the limitations, the emotions, the thoughts, all these kind of things. But we're here to tell you that you're not alone in it. you know
100%.
we're the voices here on the screen, I get it, and we're talking whatever, but there's a community you can plug into at CWW,
Yeah.
and most importantly, Jesus is with you.
That's it.
And if you take those like practical steps that we've explained tonight, if you make a decision to pursue walking those things out, you're gonna see the benefit.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing you mentioned, Lou, was when we talk about process limitation, was how you even feel with your walk with God when you're doing bad on the process.
Yeah, that gets affected, man. It really does because you immediately start questioning that as well,
Mm.
for God knows what reason. But it's it just becomes like a natural default.
Yeah,
It's almost in a sense of, you know what, maybe I don't have to blame myself and take the accountability. Yeah, just go and blame the big guy. 'Cause immediately you blame God, or if you're not in that position, then the flip side of that is it must be me. It is still me. I'm not believing enough. I must
mm,
now go and do and find something that I can improve on. And to your whole point, and what we mentioned in the beginning of this episode was that when you're in the process, it's so key and important to just slow down and see where you're at. And the reason
100%.
why I'm bringing that up again is to say that, like you're saying, mentorship, leadership, it's so vital. And honestly, believe a big part of that is because they are on the outside looking in. When you're in the middle of the process and you almost like streamline vision, it's very difficult to realize where you're going and how fast you're going. Whereas
Yeah.
the person from the outside looking in can tap you on the shoulder and be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Just be careful, yeah.
Mm,
Just consider this. You're going into a barrier, yeah. You might want to go in this direction instead. And it's very much the same with having Jesus on the walk with you. Is that
100%.
it's the Holy Spirit looking from the outside in, man. He knows the beginning from the end. He's given you this vision. He knows which way you should take. It's beneficial to look to him then. It's
100%.
beneficial to say, hey, Holy Spirit, my guy, what's happening?
Yeah.
Which direction do I go in here? Because I'm now choosing to slow down and sense where the life is at.
Mm.
Before I get hurt, before I dash my dreams here, and before I actually turn against you,
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
person that I should be looking to, and that happens with a lot of things.
Mm.
And, you see it in human relationships. Is if someone gets hurt or burnt or wronged in some way, they immediately turn against the people that they were expecting to have by their side, even if it's not the right thing to be doing.
mm,
It's just that normal human reaction is just to let's just blame everyone around us and not take any responsibility. It's like, no, 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 no. Slow down the roll, slow down the process. Let's see where we're at. Let's look to God and let's just practically take stock of what's happening in this process. And, that's just it avoids a lot of conflict. It avoids a lot of pain to be doing that.
yeah, for sure,
And like
for
you're
sure.
saying, we're just the voices on the screens here, but we're talking from real life experience.
Mm,
And we're talking from the community that we interact with on a week to week, day to day basis, where we're seeing these pain points being literally experienced each day for the same bloody reasons.
yeah, yeah.
There's nothing new under the sun. It's happening for the same reasons. And like you're saying, the platform is here to tell you guys there's a better way to do it. There's a community to connect to. You don't have to go through the school of hard knocks,
Mm,
essentially,
mm.
right?
100%. 100%. Or at least you can limit the hard knocks as far as
Yeah,
possible. You
that's
know what
it.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the truth is, dude, it's and I'm thankful for Deeds and Tussle, because um they've been on this journey so much longer than I have,
Yeah.
and I promise you there may be times where something is hectically affecting me,
Yeah.
and it's to the point where I'm like, I'm not even sensing God. I'm like, Lord,
Mm,
I want to hear you, but right now I'm so flustered, and I go to D's, I'm like, D's, listen. I go to Tussle, listen, and they're like, okay, no, I understand, but have you thought about this? And I'm like,
mm,
what, and the thing is, this is that does take a lot of humility. Firstly, you got
yeah.
to be able to go to someone, but it takes a lot of trust,
Yeah.
and I think trust is something that's very scarce in today's world,
Mm,
because people are very selfish, they're very self-seeking, so
yeah.
you like, I've seen situations in front of my eyes, dude, where someone will open up to someone else about something very sensitive,
Mm.
but because that person is so insecure about how they look, they'll make fun of that, or they'll ridicule it, so it's such a crazy thing. No, it is, and but it's a real thing. I mean, you
I don't
ask.
know why that made me laugh. I just thought that was funny.
No, it's because you were the guy. I know you were the guy. Yeah, I'm kidding.
Ah,
I'm kidding.
that's
But
terrible.
but young people would agree with this. That it's not safe and it's not easy to open up.
Mm-mm.
It's not. And the thing is, if you can't do that, you're never going to be able to be led.
Yeah,
You with me? Because leadership takes submission and vulnerability.
that's it.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to be led, it takes vulnerability, it takes submission,
Yeah.
because you've got to see the value in what this person's teaching you. So out there, it takes time to find the mentors or the leaders that you feel will take you on the way, and it doesn't matter what your discipline is. But the thing is this, I suppose the opportunity we want to give to everyone is that at CWW, and the link is in the comments, in the
Mm.
description, you can find that community,
Yeah.
with many leaders. You can find that community where um, we are focused on helping people walk with God. Because the truth is, if you walk with God, you'll succeed in life.
Yeah. It's the
That's it.
blueprint, man.
That's it. If you truly walk with God in the way the Bible instructs us to, not that God's just your slice of pie on a Sunday, religious pie on a Sunday, or it's like, oh, I just got to say my prayers so I go to heaven, or not that. But I'm talking
Mm.
about the true abiding in Him. You know,
Yeah.
these things that we're talking about, that are seemingly difficult by ourselves, through the Holy Spirit, they become joyful.
Yeah.
And that's the key about the process, is that we want to go through these things and achieve these things, and we want joy in the process.
That's
You know what I'm
it.
saying? It may be
Experience
difficult.
life, man.
Yeah. It may be difficult, and it may cost some things, and there may be ups and downs and whatever, but we want to have joy.
Yeah.
And I think the crux that we're getting to, I suppose, in closing of the episode, is that we want to make sure that people understand that Christ, right, is highlighting, okay, the importance of separating your value from your performance.
Yeah. That's huge.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And not only that, but he is what gets you to do that. He's
Exactly.
the reason that you can do that. And just to reiterate what you said in the middle of this episode is that is the starting point.
Mm,
Don't even consider embarking on an episode or on a process before you actually have done that. Before you've done the check to say, hey, this process does not define me. This process does not add more to me. I am I am already valuable. I'm already complete, if
Exactly.
I can call that. Not really
Mm.
complete, but I'm already enough. Let's go with what uh, what sounds like a good value word. I'm already enough,
Yeah.
right? And that is because of Christ. And
Christ.
he allows you to do that from the get go. He's
That's
the
it.
starting point. We actually was discussing and we were like, what could be a potential way to like break down this process and to say, how does it begin? Any process, you know? And it's like, and I mentioned it was, recognizing the potential that God has placed in you. But I'm realizing now that it comes down to that, what you just said.
Mm.
Realize what your starting point is in Christ.
That's it.
And
That is it.
from there, you begin the process
Mm.
because at the end of the day, the process is as important as the end goal.
Yeah.
But now if you're now attaching your value to the end goal, there's going to be a problem
Exactly.
because what are you going to do once you reach the end goal? Are
Oh,
you
if
then,
you miss it.
or if you miss it, yeah,
Yeah.
either which way, it's detrimental and it's not very sustaining.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's a flippin' excellent point, man.
Yeah. And
What am
and
I?
you know what, dude? This
What a
is
clap for that.
yeah, this is this is the good news. This is the good news of the gospel because the thing is this now is that if we choose to establish ourselves, right?
Yeah,
I remember in the beginning, the question you asked was, okay, we know we have the sense that we're destined for greatness,
yeah.
right? But how do we know we'll get there? How do we know that that feeling is right? You
I
know?
sense you have an answer for us.
Well, we've gotten to the point now.
Yeah,
This is it because you have a value given to you from God.
that's it.
Your gifts, your talents, your personality, everything was created by God Himself. He made you in His image and His likeness,
Yeah.
you know? Now, the thing is this now, okay, but I'm destined for greatness. You are. You are, because if you're in the image and likeness of God, right?
Mm.
If you are walking in His image and likeness, you should produce greatness. Jesus did.
Yeah,
You
that's it.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the thing is this now is that just knowing that that's possible, right, is not what makes it happen.
Mm.
You understand? It is the walking with him. It's the abiding in him. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Because we're just empty shells, and this life that we have, which is seemingly long to us, 80, 90, 100 years, praise God, you know, we get to add to these shells. We get to fill them up. Do you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Now, when we get to the end, right? Do we want to be bursting at the seams with
Mm.
all that God has done in us? Or do we still want to be empty and disappointed and heartbroken?
It's a good question. It's a good question to leave for the listeners, Bosh. I
That's
have to
it.
say, and
You know,
honestly, I think that's perhaps something a direction that we can explore in the next episode is to say, what is it that makes this happen now?
100%.
You
We
know,
can.
what is it that makes the process actually now take place?
Mm.
Because, like you're saying, it's all good to know something. In all honesty, knowing a lot of things hasn't helped me.
Well, here's the thing people say knowledge is power, right?
Yeah.
Now, the power that knowledge gives you, okay, is the power of awareness. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So if you're
Yeah.
knowledgeable about something, someone's probably not going to be able to manipulate you or pull a fast one on you,
That's it.
right?
Yeah.
But knowledge in itself is not the power to get things done.
Yeah. 100%. There's a whole
You
bag
with
of
me?
toys that need to be unpacked there.
Yeah, that power comes from God. You know what I'm
That's it.
saying? That's His power at work in us. So I think, listeners, yeah, we already over an hour here. We're just having fun talking about life with Jesus. So that's like really really cool. But I
Yeah.
think yeah, I think let's cut it there. Please, 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 guys, like, comment, subscribe, share. Put some detail in the comments if you want to. Let us know. Are we taking a direction you want to hear more about? Would you like to hear something about something else? Because as you can see, this is episode 3 now.
Mm.
We like to yap our jaws, like we mentioned in episode 1. You know what I'm saying? But I think for tonight, that's enough. I mean, we covered the process. The emotions, the practical steps. The justification, the gusto. The disappointments, the heartaches.
Yeah.
So I think we'll leave it there, and I would really like to see the feedback. I'd really like to see the feedback and how it is.
Mm.
But from my side, guys, always remember that this is about enjoying life with Jesus.
Yeah.
This is about shaking off the failures, trusting in what He's done for us, and making sure that we keep respawning. You know what I'm saying? So from myself, Bashironi, as always, grace and peace to you guys, and we're gonna see you in episode 4.
Yeah, man, that is super exciting. Guys, please take the time to re listen to this episode. There's definitely a lot to unpack here. Share it with your friends, with your family. Just share it with a stranger, man. Invite them, see what they say. And as Bash said, Respawn, it's about a better way of doing things, guys. It's about enjoying life and it's about realizing that, perhaps there's a better alternative out there for you. So, from my side, guys, as always, welcome to Respawn.